Welcome back to the RS Buddies podcast. We've been friends for 15 years because of this game, and now we like to yap about it. My name is Max or MDGScape, and my co-host is Zekzer or Dalton.
What is cracka-lackin', brother?
Yo, what a week, what a week. It feels like it hasn't been a week since the last time we recorded, but
I know, dude. I just was thinking that to myself. Like, it feels like it's been such a quick week that we've gone through.
yeah.
Feels
And
like just like constant grinding.
yeah, that's because we are in a little bit of a bingo time warp. I'm embarrassed to say how much EHB I have from this past week, and I know that your HPXP, which is how we measured a lot of it, is higher than mine was. So I can imagine that yours was even crazier. Your grind times.
Yeah, I kind of got my EHB kind of got screwed over because of like some of the stuff I was doing,
Yeah,
like
right.
with Corp. Like for people who don't know, group Ironmen count as mains
Yeah, we
for
get ranked on the high
for
score with
EHB.
mains, which is how they decide EHB. And if anyone doesn't know, EHB is efficient hours bossed, which is really nerdy, but it's kind of the standard for like they have it for skilling as well, right? So it's like what's the most efficient you can do a certain boss, and that's all tallied up for bingo on the Wise Old Man plugin and website.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I kind of got screwed over a little bit because I did so much corp. I did like probably a total of like 10 or 12 hours of solo corp during this
Wow.
bingo. And the EHB for corp is like 60 kills an hour or
Yeah,
something
it's horrible.
because of boosting. So it's like I spent all this time getting like 8 kills an hour and got like one EHB off corp. It's like okay.
Right.
But
Yeah,
then, you could tell by the HP XP that I was grinding my face off.
I think that's what most people were going by to like see how much you were playing. Also, yeah, for me, like my EHB, I think was close to 40 hours for the week, or
It's
for
crazy.
yeah, 40 or so hours. I think 37, 38 hours. But it didn't count things like shamans because those aren't tracked on the high scores,
Yep.
or
Frost dragons,
frost
like none of
dragons.
that
I did a ton
counts. Like
of, yeah.
that's why HP was such a good indicator, was because there's so much people were doing that like had nothing to do with bossing.
Right. I think I had something like 2.4 or 2.5 mil HP XP. I think
Yeah, I
you
had
were
it with
I
like
saw
right
you were
around
up at like
3.
2.7 or 2.8. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was. I This was the first bingo I've ever done, and I had a ton of fun. My team was like, I mean, my team was full vibes team.
Yeah.
It was so nice. And you know what? It's not bad being the champion of bingo either.
Yeah. So Zexer's team won. I'm kind of upset about it, but here we are. We grinded our hearts out, and we had a lot of bad RNG, but I'm happy for you guys. You won. You deserved it, and it was really cool to watch. Like it came down to the wire at the end.
Yeah, it was a team competing for so like we had to get a sigil or visage, or we had to get, and the other team had to get 2 raid armor pieces.
Right.
So honestly, we were 2 tiles behind. They were on like their last tile, the other team, and we just like battened down the hatches, locked in, and like sent it, and, and it just ended up working out.
Yeah.
Like just spamming Coliseum and stuff. It was really cool.
It was fun to watch too. And I last night it was like I go to bed pretty early, and last night it was like 10:30, and I was like, they might not it might not be done. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. It might not be done, but I guess you guys, I saw the picture was posted like at half an hour after I went to bed, so
Yeah,
got it
my team
done.
was like, I don't care what we're doing tomorrow. We are finishing this tonight. And all 10 of us were like, yep, we're doing that.
Hell
So we
yeah.
all just stayed up. One of our guys was up at like 5 in the morning.
Oh my
Like
god.
he was at 5 a.m. and he had to work at like 6. It was so
Yeah.
funny.
My teammates were
Uh,
like, "Oh, I don't know if Zexer's gonna stay on." Like you had just gotten, I think the second to last tile finish was like call out for you guys, and you got that done.
yep.
And they're like, "I don't know, maybe Zexer won't stay on to grind." I was like, "He's gonna be on. Yeah, he's gonna. There's no way. There's no
I'm
way he's
gonna
going to bed."
straight to dragons, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm also, I think I'm gonna put out a video for it. So if you guys are interested, that'll probably be out. I don't know how soon because Deadman mode's coming up, and I have a couple other videos I'm working on, but eventually it will be out. So if you're interested to see the bingo journey, you might want to check that out on my channel as well.
Yeah, your first bingo video was awesome.
Yeah,
I
it came
saw
out
it.
really cool. I think I'm gonna kind of follow that same format because people seem to really like it, and just make it a new version. Yeah,
I still wish we could have been on the same team.
me too.
It'd
Me
been so
too.
nice to do duo corp and stuff like that. It would have been so cool.
Definitely. Yeah. My team was great. I really got along with all of them. we had a good time. So I'm happy with that. I will say so for me, I had mentioned it on the last episode because I think we were 3 days in or 2 days in or whatever. I had a really crazy start. Like I got the Doom Unique and the Sarachnis Cudgel like right away in my first hour of VHB or whatever. And then I went like 30 efficient hours with just nothing. I
Ugh,
did get a long bone from Scurious, but besides that, just absolutely nothing. And I was losing my mind. And at the
yeah.
end, I had a decent pull to like get me back into it a little bit, but it was just so frustrating.
One of the worst parts about bingo, in my opinion, is the points make sense, but it kind of just ends up being like who spooned the most gets the stuff, and that kind of feels bad a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because you're a team. But it does feel like good to get like an individual. Like when they posted the HP XP gained, and I was like number one on my team. I was like, okay, at least my team knows I'm like doing stuff.
Right. Yeah,
Like even though I'm not pulling all the points in the world, like I'm grinding like
definitely.
crazy. But
Yeah, we had a couple people, I'm not going to call any names out, obviously, but we had people, quit teams and even quit the clan over like getting upset about, how much teammates were contributing or like just little team dramas and stuff. And I just think that's silly because, like, at the end of the day, like, most people, most people with like actual responsibilities. I mean, here's the thing: we're all like around 30 years old, if not older. Some people, most people have like kids and jobs and things. Like, if you have a couple hours a day to grind, you shouldn't be penalized by not being in a bingo or something. So,
right, like I think every team had stuff like that, and that's why when we like signed up for the bingo, there was like, how many hours do you play? Like they were
mhm,
trying to balance like putting one of those people on every team. So like while teams sometimes might feel like they are like disadvantaged because there's a person on their team who's not playing a lot, it's like they're on your team and they're probably on a lot of teams. Like my team had a couple people who were just like not playing that much, and like it is what it is. Like you can't
right.
expect everybody to be like as committed, and they shouldn't be like stripped of the ability to play bingo
Or made to
because of
feel
it.
bad about it either. I mean,
Yeah,
we had a couple
exactly.
teammates
It's
that kept apologizing for like either having to work, or just only being able to contribute a few hours a day, and it's like you shouldn't have to apologize for that, especially if you put it on your forum. That's what you would probably be able to do. So
right, exactly. It's like you're gonna get those people on your team. They have to balance it out. It's
yeah,
okay. Like
yeah,
it is what it is. But
definitely. I will say I had on top of the horrendous RNG I had for most of the bingo. I also just wasn't playing well. I think I mentioned it last time. I was feeling a little down about it, but it continued throughout this. It was just weird. Like things that I'm just are so like second nature usually, like Tob or Toa or things like that. I was just like playing poor and planking, and I was just getting really frustrated. I don't know what happened. I had a crash out last night, like right before the bingo ended. I was like, I died at Tob in some dumb way, and I was just like, I'm going back. I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna go farm hobgoblins. I don't care that we're done with the champion scroll. Like I'm just gonna go farm limpwort roots. That's the skill level I'm at. Uh, so after that little meltdown, I bounced back and the spirits were back up. But I was feeling frustrated about
yeah, on the complete other end of the coin, for some reason, this
it.
bingo, I was just fully locked in like I've never been before playing RuneScape. Like I was doing like for Corp, I was doing like the Venge, Spellbook swap,
Wild.
Thralling, getting like 10 to 12 kills an hour. Like it was so fast with a cannon setup. Then for Coliseum, I like the first run that I went on, like that I completed, I shaved 4 minutes off my time and like got the GM time. And I was like at that moment, I was like, oh, I know, like I was locked in, and I was just kind of like just totally I don't know. Recently playing RuneScape, I don't know. Do you ever heard of second puberty?
Yeah, when your voice drops an
So
octave when you're in your 30s.
yeah, so I think I hit second puberty with RuneScape where 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 like these like monotonous grinds. I'm just like sitting there, like my brain's just like totally fine.
Wow.
Like I'm randomly able to do mechanics I could never do before. And I'm like I don't know, I hit second puberty with RuneScape. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I'm waiting for my second set of balls to drop because I'm just not. I'm playing like shit. I can't like focus on a grind for more than an hour. I'm just a disaster. So
Hey
hopefully
man,
that'll happen to me.
bloat deaths don't count,
Bloat deaths don't count.
obviously.
Unfortunately, I wasn't dying at bloat. I was dying just stupidly. I died. What was it? The ones that were my fault anyway. I died at Maiden right in the beginning because I blew it on South Freeze, and then I died at Verzik because like I don't know, I was like sitting low HP like an idiot and just really didn't expect to die, and I got dragged like across a crab, and it like re-aggroed to me and popped, and I don't know, I lost my mind.
Yeah. Well, it was a super fun week. I mean, this is one of the most fun weeks I ever had playing RuneScape for sure. It's like it's
Definitely.
up there with me. That rush and feeling of like, okay, we're in a competition, we got to win.
Yeah, we
Is
get
like
that way
so
with
nice. I love
Deadman
that.
and
Oh
with
yeah.
leagues, and that's actually brings us to the main topic of this podcast, and that is Deadman mode is coming, and we just got a lot more info on it.
So much info. Like there's stuff that I'm gonna talk to you about that we're pretty much I'm gonna go through the blog and get like we're gonna hear me and Max and I's opinions on like all the stuff in there because there's so many changes that are like really good and there's so many. I mean, well, there's questionable changes, but I think most of them, like 90%, 95%, are just amazing changes. And I just want to hear Max's point of view on it. A lot of it, really.
Yeah, I think one thing about first of all, I like this format where you are a little bit more informed and I'm kind of reacting to it. But also I think we do a pretty good job of like saying how we feel about especially particularly Deadman stuff, but also saying like maybe this is even if we don't love it, how it is for the game as a bigger picture too. So I think
Yeah,
let's
at a certain point, like I don't like the Beatles that much. You got to accept that the Beatles are a good band.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you,
yeah.
like obviously they're good. They're world renowned people. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But so let me start here, and I think some of these. So you haven't heard about much of this DMM. So the first thing they talked about was the finale. So I'm
Okay.
gonna go through this here really quickly.
Do you want to link
So
me the page and
yeah,
I can
I'll link it to you right
pull it
now,
up as well?
brother. Yeah, give me 1 second. Here you go. It is in general
Thank
right
you. Thank
now.
you. Okay, I got
Okay.
it.
So the finale. This is big, big, big. And I don't know if you're gonna like it or not, but I think you'll like it. There's no more pushing everyone to the middle of like
Okay.
an area. What happens is when the Deadman finale starts, you get teleported to the Bounty Hunter crater.
Oh my god.
And there's two teams that are on that cannot attack each other. And you fight and the teams slowly dissipate
No
and it
way.
turns
That
into a 1v1 finale.
I'm already so in, bro. I'm already so in. That sounds so
Uh,
much better.
it is so classically in Deadman mode, like there's just lit and rot and they're
Yeah.
just smashing any solo players. That is not the case anymore at all.
Yeah, before
There is
there was like big teams and then just like solo people like us running around. So this is way better. Puts everyone on an even playing field. They can't collude and like there's not going to be all these clan alliances cuz who knows who's going to be in either team.
Yeah, it's really good for the game, I think, for Deadman mode as a whole. I think a lot of these changes that I'm about to go over are really good for Deadman mode as a whole, because you have to cater to the solo player in a game mode like DMM, and you also have to. Deadman mode is classically such a punishing game mode. PvP is everywhere, and it was so beyond punishing. Like it so turned a lot of regular people off. This is going to be clearly more of a progression leagues format of Deadman mode, and that is going to change everything. This could make Deadman mode a staple mode like leagues is.
Absolutely. I think it definitely is going to. And I think everyone's heard clan man mode, and I think this is going to be at least in the finale. It's going to be things are going to be a lot more equitable.
Yeah, that's really important too, because as you know, the finale is one of the like. I remember we would be running in from these certain areas, and then you eventually get to a point where it's just like you're not a blue name on the screens their list on the other the big clans list, so you're just getting barraged and
Yeah.
you're just getting destroyed. The solos used to be like the 1v1s, like the ones that were like in an actual
Hmm.
area, used to be used to be able to like change that kind of like if you survived long enough, but they had to remove it because of like people were DDoSing and stuff because of the prize pool.
Right.
But that's another thing. Is there anything else you want to cover about that finale that I just talked about before I move on to this
No,
thing? Because it's
I
kind of a
will
good
just
segue.
quickly say, like, I don't know how much bounty hunter you've done, but it's not a huge area. Like, I don't, I guess what's the max people that they might have multiple worlds, I guess, right? For this.
Yeah, I would think they would have like multiple worlds, like multiple 2K worlds.
Hmm. Yeah, because
Um,
the bounty hunter crater is not that big. For 2,000 people, it's going to be packed in there. But I guess it'll thin out pretty quick, right?
yeah, it's gonna be mayhem, but at least there's just two teams. You really can't kill the other teams until I think like way later. I don't know what the actual number is. They don't say, but way later you'll be able to just like destroy anyone at a certain
Yeah.
point. So the next thing is I was just talking about the singles finale that used to be that everyone remembers. This could kill Manked when it registers. It's
When it registers, yeah.
everyone, yeah, everyone remembers because of the DDoSing. But this next change, which might be, I think it's actually really good, but it's definitely controversial. There's no more real money prize in Deadman mode. It's
Hmm.
gone, completely removed.
Kind of missed that.
Um, I will say that is definitely something to be missed, but I also felt like it was kind of weird that the rattiest, now this is not saying it's a bad thing, but some of the rattiest people in the game like were competing for money, and that's why there was so much DDoSing and all this other jazz.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, but we were just talking about like the DMM All Stars thing, and like Odo was getting DDoS, and I don't think that was because of money. It's just because these people are rats. Like I don't think I think people are gonna
I
do it
think
regardless, right?
I think when you put a monetary incentive, but like when you talk about something like Oda that happening to Oda, I think that when you have like 100,000 people watching you, it can be like for attention
I
too.
guess so. Yeah, I
Whereas
just feel
this
like
is more of like a contained thing where I could see it being like, okay, wait, there's no like money tied behind this anymore. Like we don't really need to like before. I think if you want to convert this game mode to a game mode like leagues, you need to take the real money out of it. Because imagine if the first person to get the maximum amount of league points that they could get ended up getting like $1,000 or something, those people would be getting DDoS too. Like
yeah.
that is just the reality of when you give people real money for a video game rankings. I just think that if you're going to end up making this into a game mode that is on the level of leagues and you really want to make it like a progression based thing, you need to give it an incentive besides real world money, which it has, which is like you can make a crap
Yeah.
ton of OSRS gold,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be probably less this year just because of how I think it's going to be a lot more popular, and everyone saw last year how much money people made and how much these rewards were worth. But I think it'll still be a lot of money. And I will say with the prize thing, I guess I get taking the prizes away for like the finale, right? Because like that gives incentive to DDoS and stuff. But I really liked the raffle system for like the top 25 players with points would be in the pool, and the top 100 players would be in the pool. Like I made the top 100 last time. I was like 79, and you made the top 25 that time as well. So I don't know. That just but I feel like it would also be weird to give prizes for that and not give prizes for the actual like point of Deadman mode, which is like surviving at the end. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I actually I agree with that. I also think that they could definitely be along the lines of like giving away membership or something like a year of membership why not give it to everyone in the top 20, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why not just the people, the last 25 to survive and the top 25 like for dead man mode points like are all going to get a year of membership. It costs them actually nothing, they lose such a small amount
Right.
where
And
it's
if
not
they
actually
do,
like money, it's like membership.
yeah, or like maybe the last 25 alive get a year of membership, right? Because then
Right, yeah, it's
that's a
insane.
big enough pool to where like there's probably not going to be any weird antics, and it's an even prize for everyone. And then in the high scores with the points and everything, maybe that could be that raffle system for also membership or something.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh,
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't
there's a
know.
lot of ways they can do it. I think that this standard mode, clearly they're trying to experiment with what can make it the best game mode possible, like
Right.
within its constraints. So they're definitely just taking they're taking like full swings, which Jagex always does with temporary game modes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sounds good.
sounds good. The next thing I wanted to touch on, just maybe shortly, is the Deadman mode points. So
Hmm.
we all know that you get points from breaches.
Right.
Um, the points are capped at 5,000 per day with breaches. The way it works is at each damage you do to a breach monster is 1 point. So you can get 5,000 points per day, and 25,000. Wait, is it uh, on? Wait, 20. Earn up to a total of 25,000 points from breaches, even if you miss a daily nexus. Total
Yeah.
cap here is
Wow.
75,000
And you can,
points.
if you miss a day, you can catch up the next day and get your old points. So like, even if you miss a few days here and there, you end up with a total possible cap of 75,000 points, which
Yeah, it's
is
awesome.
awesome. I will say I am looking at, and the next section is talking about levels. Like you get points for your levels as well and collection logs. I will say the breach points seem a little bit OP. Like compared to, let's say,
Well,
collection logs, like you would need 500 collection logs to match 1 day's worth of breach points. That seems a little crazy.
Well, I think the incentive is that the breaches, like if you are trying to compete for a top rank, you need to cap your 5,000 breach points. Like you need to cap that whole thing.
Hmm.
And then everything else is like supplemental to those
Yeah.
numbers. Like if you look though, I'm pretty sure collection log is new. Like
Yeah, I
the
think you're
getting
right.
points from collection log and getting points from clue scrolls, that's new.
Oh, and that
Um
that's big too. Clue scrolls plus collection logs. It's like you're not just
it's
getting
like
it
you're
for the,
double dipping.
yeah, you're kind of getting two for
Achievement
one.
diaries are now giving you points. Um
And those give a
I
lot of
think
points. Yeah.
Yeah, they're giving a lot of points. Uh, CAs, anything that you do in the game gives you points.
Yeah. Wow.
Um, so the boss kills, and by the way, something we're going to talk about later is going to make clue scrolls way better too.
Okay. Yeah.
Way
I know
better.
there's relics and stuff for that.
Yeah.
Quick question: how long is this Deadman mode? Did they say that?
I don't think they wait. I think it's 2 weeks.
Well, this says the cap of 75,000 points at 5,000 a day. So what is that? 25 days?
Yes.
Should be right in theory. That's a long time, but it's
Or
not.
yeah.
It's not like leagues long, and also there's with all these like all the different points from all these different things, you're never gonna get bored in those 25
Wait, it's
days.
not
Like,
25. It's not 25. 5 times 25 is 125. It's
oh, okay, you're right.
it's
That's
got a,
15.
why am I blanking?
That's
15
15.
days. Yeah, like 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. This is gonna be. It's almost not long enough.
It's almost not long. It's almost like DMM should be 3 weeks with these changes.
A
But
month
let's
even.
continue down.
Sorry.
No, no, you don't need to apologize. All the bosses in the game are going to give you points. Literally everything up to 100 KC. It was 75 last time. In
Hmm.
D- Sorry, in DMM. It's up to 100 this time, which I very much appreciate and like. And each boss is going to give you, I think, 5 times, yeah, 5 times the points on your first KC. So
Wow.
there's all sorts of weighting here that's pretty intense. Um, what do you think some of the best bosses are going to be to farm, or do you think it's going to be more of like a? I think it's going to be like a farm whatever boss you like up to 100 KC, and then once you're done with bosses that you like, you just start dropping 1 point on each boss.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more of, yeah, hit every boss once, maybe do a trip everywhere, and then like I'm looking at like TOB and entry mode and hard mode. Those are a lot of points. Same with Tombs of a Masket. Entry, expert, and normal are a lot of points. I don't know.
And
I
because
think
you're
they're.
mentioning raids, there's also a new requirement that's later, but I'm going to mention it now because you're talking about raids and
Hmm.
points. Um, you can no longer even go to raids unless you're risking a certain amount of GP.
Whoa, really?
Yep. So it prevents people just rag botting there.
That's, yeah. Well, that's a weird. I guess that is better, right? Like,
Yeah, I don't think it's like a very high amount of GP, but I think that it might be like 500k or a mil or something. Which obviously when we go to raise, we're always risking more than that number.
Right. And it's also the case now, if I remember correctly, that like you can, if you're in combat, you can still go in the doors. Whereas
Yep.
before it was like, if you're in combat, you can't get through the doors, which was just stupid in my opinion. Like if you tank your
Yeah,
way
I
to the
mean,
doors of raids, you shouldn't be like locked out because of that.
the scariest thing ever was going to like TOA for the first time, and like
Oh my
you
god,
have to
dude, the
like set up your
cutscene.
invocations list and like do all
Yeah,
this
and the
shit.
cutscene, there's a cutscene, your character's just standing there. I
And
still
you're
think
like,
that's gonna be a disaster.
it's panning over, and you just see a guy with a Varix helm and Aram's plate and skirt standing in the door.
Yeah. Oh
Oh
my
man.
god.
But I mean, listen, they made it definitely so that a bossing is going to be very good for points.
Hmm.
I mean, really, really good. It's exciting that we can have some PVM within Deadman mode because it used to be just not that at all, right? We used to just sit at demonic gorillas, try to make as much money as we can, and like move on. This time you're really incentivized to just like play the whole entire game, which
Dude,
is
it
like
just
even
it
more of the
feels
game than leagues.
like leagues with PvP turned on. It really does, which I am excited for. I hope it's not too much of a departure from the vibes of Deadman mode. I think
I
it's
don't think
all
it'll
good
be.
changes. I just want it to still be Deadman mode, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Deadman mode was always known for me like janky and shit like that. So I also hope that it's sorry. I also hope that it's a whatchamacallit, I feel it gives
Yeah.
that same vibe because I want it to be risky going out. I said that oh, there's also more on that. This is crazy. Everything that we talked about with Double Shine when I was mentioning stuff, Jagex thought about.
Dude,
So
maybe they're watching.
dude, they're listening to the RSB cast.
Oh my god.
Dude, please, Monarcade. So there's also just a new item that you get from the start called the Deadman Skull, and it tells you literally all the information that you need. Sigil info. It's where you like we'll go over this after. It's where you unlock sigils. It's where you look at when the next breach is and how long it is. They removed the random breach, which we never really went to anyway because we're always like in multi.
Right.
So we just like skipped them a lot of the time. So that's just a new item that you're
How
gonna
it
have
works that there would
off the
be
rip.
two singles and one in multi every time, but it was every single time it was like that, right?
Yes. I think it was one single, one multi, not two,
Maybe,
one.
yeah, yeah.
It was one single, one multi every time, and that's how it's going to be now. But there used to be like a random time breach that would just go off.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
but they found that from like talking to people who like participated in Deadman mode through like polls and stuff that it wasn't a it wasn't something they liked because they felt like they had to be on like 24/7, and they
Yeah.
didn't like that. And that's along the line. Same thing. That's the same thing that happened with the removal of the prize pool that we just talked about. Is that when they pulled or like sent people stuff or whatever they when people did like whatever polls that they sent out in emails,
Hmm.
they found an overwhelming support for just removing the cash prize
Yeah.
and just see how it goes.
Yeah,
So they're
I
go
will
ahead.
say with the breach thing, I'm trying to like conceptualize how much 5,000 damage is in the context of a breach. I think it's a lot, but I think you could probably hit that in a normal, like if you had either the corrupt like Shadow or corrupt Tebow or like even maybe Ruby bolting. They're pretty long. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like 10, 15 minutes of just like
Oh, Ruby. I don't know
spamming.
if Ruby bolt points count.
Yeah, they did. They banned that last year, so maybe not.
The
But
damage doesn't count for like the damage doesn't count for your damage to the monster. I don't know if it counts for your points though. I have
right.
no idea.
Either way, my main question is, do you think like so I last year I told myself for my health and for like my sanity and also to not wake my partner up. I'm not going to wake up in the middle of the night for the breach because for me it was in the middle of the night the third one and I suffered for that and I'm hoping that this year you can get about 5,000 points in one breach. And so like if you missed a day even you could the next day make it up. But it's hard to
I
say.
think you'll definitely be able to. If you start thinking about like if you're going to be way more overpowered in this DMM against monsters too.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
so many things that are going to make you giga broken. against
I'm
monsters.
worried about that too because Deadman mode traditionally with the sigils you're strong, like you're very strong to the point where you can raid with like pretty like bare bones gear if you need to, but and also do the breaches with not the best of gear, but you're not so strong that it feels broken and there's no point to anything else, right? So I'm hoping it still feels that way.
I think you'll still feel that way, but there's just some nice quality of life stuff that they added that is going to make it, if you're not in combat with another player, the bosses are going to be kind of nicer to you in
Okay.
a way. Like it's going to be nicer to do them. You're going to be more accurate. We'll go over it right now because we're just on that shop unlock section. So there is a new shop with the Deadman skull that I was talking about before that you can buy a whole host of things from quest unlocks to sigils, pretty much. So, and a banger, which is ruinous powers too.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the ruinous powers, this Deadman mode, have been buffed.
Oh wow, okay.
So you're more accurate with every single one of them, and they removed the negative of that of like praying the wrong style.
Really?
So there's like there's nobody in the game that's not going to be using ruinous powers.
Right.
It's a massive unlock. So let's start there. So we just said there's 5,000 points to Capita Breach.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new system that they're doing here, and it's permanent unlocks, attunable unlocks, and toggleable unlocks. There's 3 sections, and we'll start with the permanent unlocks. So the biggest permanent unlock that's on here is Ruinous Powers. It costs
Right.
5,000 points, and you just get it forever.
Wow. Okay.
So they were really broken kind of prayers that just made you deal more damage. I think the main reason was they didn't want people to like feel it necessary to grind cocks or make a ton of money for a Dex and Arcane, which are not going to be as worth it in this Deadman
Yeah.
mode for sure. They used to go for like more than anything else in the game.
Yeah,
It's
right
not
before the
definitely not going to be
tournament,
the
they were
case.
like, yeah, priceless pretty much.
That was a cool vibe though, right before the end when like random items would just skyrocket because someone needed a DFS.
It's
You're just
always
like, yeah,
fun, and it's
here.
always fun to like try to stockpile those things and then like hold out to the end and sell them. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I wonder if the scrolls will be worth anything at the end or during the thing.
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Well, the thing is, the ruinous powers don't give you any defensive at all.
Yeah, I think the defense is well,
I
maybe
think
with the
it's more
sigils
important
it's
than you think about
meaningless.
when there's just barrage clumping going on.
Right. I guess it depends if these like upgrades are going to like multiply defense or just add on top because if they're multiplying any defense then having that defense from those prayers is going to be invaluable, but if it's just adding like an insane amount on top then might not be as important.
So, from what I know from calculation of like all things, prayers are added on at the end of everything else.
Mhm.
So, like with the Tunic and Shadow,
Yeah.
those prayer like any prayer that you use that gives you magic percentage like doesn't get multiplied by the shadow. The shadow's damage multiplies or the percent multiplies and then it gets added on top like the
Okay.
2% or 4% or whatever it is. So I think that'll probably be along those same lines
Yeah, dude, and if you're
here.
getting stuck in the bounty hunter crater at the end with no idea who's going to be with you, who's not, if your friends are going to be with you or not, you're going to want defense rather than offense. Like
I
so
agree.
I think the prayers are still going to be probably the scrolls are going to be still useful.
I think so. Yeah. I think that specifically for the end
Yeah.
that they're better. Like they have to be better.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go through some of these sigils, but a lot of there's like too many to like cover in the time that we have. So
Right.
there's a lot of ones that people know about, and I'll cover them if they have like changed.
Okay,
So
that sounds good.
any sigils that stack. So for example, you can read here. There's a sigil resistance. All attacks from monsters are reduced by 25%. It does not stack with titanium.
Okay.
So any of these things that there's like lower tier ones. So, okay, let me start here. All of these sigils cost, these permanent ones are like the old tier 1 sigils that
Mhm.
costed like nothing. you got them on the GE for nothing. It's the same kind of thing here where you're going to kind of be working your way up. Like all these sigils cost 100 points, and 100 points, literally logging in, you might have 100 points. Like you're going to for sure be able to get all of these unlocks and maybe even skip some of them if you don't want them and just go to the higher tier ones.
Yeah.
So, like, we have Deft Strikes is returning, 30% accuracy against all monsters. This is a permanent unlock, which means if you guys don't know, back in old Deadman mode, you can only have 3 things attuned at once. That is not the case with these things. So this group we're going to start with is like the permanent unlocks. They just exist on your account and they are on all the time. So this is a cool one. Alchemaniac was changed.
Ooh.
So whenever you casting high or low alchemy on a stack of items, it automatically recasts over time. So just like
Interesting.
Golden God, it doesn't give you more GP like it used to, but it allows you to just keep alching while you're doing anything else.
That sounds cool.
That is going to be a major one to unlock, and it only costs 100 points.
Okay.
Like that is so unbelievably free magic XP. It's insane. Infernal Chef, I don't think this has changed. It's still like not good. I mean, it's fine. Let's see.
Some of those, yeah,
Onslaught.
you turn them on here and there when you're skilling. Like I'm sure they'll be useful, but it's nothing like amazing.
Well, yeah, once again, you don't even need to turn them on, right?
Yeah, these will
So
just be unlocked. So you probably
you
will
just
end up
have
getting
them.
all of these permanent ones because why not, right?
They're so low points. Like, why not just
Unless
unlock
unless
them?
there's one that is like a lower tier version of a later one that you maybe end up skipping. But yeah.
Right, exactly. Like Deft Strikes, you might skip, stuff like that. So here also, Deception has been changed. I think it's kind of new also. It's just a change of the old thieving relic, but it just gives you the ability to repickpocket NPCs and
Nice.
never fail.
Nice.
So for you guys who don't know, if you're in a safe zone in Deadman mode, NPCs don't give you any gold.
Hmm.
They give you nothing. So the fun thing to do is going to be to find something that's not in a safe zone that you can just
Yeah.
keep pickpocketing.
Yeah.
And that is going to be like Vires actually might be an option this Deadman mode. Because if you can imagine it, you could sit in a house or upstairs in a house somewhere and just keep pickpocketing Vires for blood shards. And then
True.
you could just like anytime someone appears, you could teleport. You're not in combat. You could just insta teleport out. And you never have to worry about a thing.
Yeah, just really hope
I
no one checks.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta say, I'm still having a hard time with. I feel like I'm being a little negative today, but I'm having a hard time with not getting like sigils or whatever to drop from skilling activities. I just really loved that. And this is
Yeah,
feeling like this stuff all feels really cool, but it does feel like a little bit leagues crossed with Deadman mode.
it does feel that way, and I think that that was the goal that they were going for.
I agree. And I
I
think that will appeal to people much more widely. But
and remember, we
PvP might
loved
be taking
Deadman
a
mode.
back seat here.
Yeah, it definitely is. Okay, so there's some stuff later that might make it not take a backseat,
Right.
but
Yeah. I guess this is just a truncated view so far. You're right.
yeah. So this one's actually very cool. This new one, automation.
I was looking
So
at
pretty
that.
much
Yeah.
it's just when you have a cannon, it just automatically reloads it when it gets to 5 cannonballs if you're within 10 tiles of it and you have cannonballs in your inventory.
Bro, that is one that Deadman mode's gonna end, and we're gonna be, oh my god, how do we go back to like actually using a cannon?
Yes. We need to make a cannon magnet or something in the game.
Yeah. I don't think I have ever, or like very rarely have used a cannon in Deadman mode. It seems like everyone skips that, so
Right. I
that'll
think
be
it's because
cool.
I think this will be make it way more like viable to use a cannon, even though like smithing cannonballs is like so weird and
Right.
hard to do.
Yeah,
But
everyone
regardless,
chins for range XP, and no one really does like just random killing mobs. So this is a cool like incentive for like, some just like Slayer, like PVM and just grinding mobs out. Yeah, that'll be cool.
yeah. So then that is true, and because of some of the changes that we're going to talk about later, grinding mobs is going to be very important.
Hmm.
Um, so there's Lithe is returning. I'm skipped a couple here because they're not that important. Well, hoarding is interesting. 5 times the points. from Wintertodt and all that jazz. I'm seeing a lot of these things, and I think because I'm thinking about Deadman mode, I'm forgetting that I'm not even forgetting, but it's not the feeling. These are just upgrades to the account that you get and are just gonna make your life nicer. It's nothing you ever have to
Right.
turn on. It's just like, oh, my cannon just refills.
Yeah, you're not
Like,
worried about buying a million different sigils and, oh, is it still in my bank?
right.
Did I sell it? Do I have it? Even though you don't, I think since the first one where they had these, are they sigils? Is that the, am I using the right word?
Yeah, you're using the right word.
Yeah, since the first one when they deleted when you died, you really had to worry about that. The last one you didn't have to worry about losing sigils, or the last few, but these, it'll be nice to just know you have them unlocked. There's a list of everything you can get unlocked and probably descriptions for what they do, which will be nice.
Exactly. The live, like, remember how this is the one has changed a little bit. Sigil of live. So it is just the old boots, like the agility boots
Right.
from leagues.
Hmm.
So pretty much when you run around, you get agility XP, and
Love it.
that's really nice.
Love it.
Um,
Yeah, because there's a
yeah,
lot
it's
of shortcuts are incredibly important in Deadman mode. Probably one of the best ways to escape PKers, and also one of the things that people at all skill levels and experience levels with PvP and Deadman mode will know to do. So that's, yeah, it's nice to not have to like grind out agility to be able to have all these escapes. It'll just kind of come as you play the game.
yeah, it's really nice. I kind of skipped over one that I want to cover really quickly, which was faith.
Hmm.
Because faith gain twice the number of prayer points when consuming prayer pots.
Cool.
Very good. And even though there's a sigil later, a little spoiler that you don't lose prayer
Hmm.
at all
Oh my
in
god.
general. So unless you're smited, obviously, like that will drain your prayer. But this kind of thing is really nice because it's just a permanent unlock. So even when you're getting smited and you're using like super restores to get it up, it's like, yep, it's giving me double prayer.
Yeah.
It's insane, actually.
I'm
It
scrolling.
allows you to have more switches and stuff
Yeah, that's
too.
true. I'm scrolling down the list and I'm looking at these. I'm like, oh, I don't recognize these names, but it doesn't say new next to them. Halfway down the list, they just started putting the new next to the point values,
Yeah,
which is just
yeah,
funny.
it's
So
so
whoever typed up this list probably just like spaced a little bit. That's funny. But
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And
that
then
sounds like a cool one.
so that's awesome. Agile Fortune's returning, but like, okay, this is a new one. Efficiency. On failing to chop a tree or fish, you have a separate 50% chance to succeed. 2x increased fishing for or 2 times resources for fishing, woodcutting, and farming.
Hmm.
So it's just a nice thing, and you're going to be able to combo that with the automatic banking sigil because that you just have it on. It's one of the
Right,
toggleable sigils,
right,
so you could turn it on or off at your will. Um,
cool.
and you'll just be able to combo with that. Also, resource gain in general is the amount of ticks something takes is just doubled this Deadman mode. They just doubled it. So
So
you're going
doubled
to be
it. So
doing
it's
stuff.
slower or
All
faster?
skilling is no, twice as fast.
Okay, so they
Sorry,
cut
they
the
cut
ticks
it
in
in
half. Yeah,
half.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So combined with some of these other ones, you're really going to be able to speedily skill
That
really,
makes me
really
feel
fast.
better about the 15-day thing. Because how long have Deadman's been traditionally? I
It's
feel like it's
generally
got to
two
be more
weeks
than,
recently.
really?
Yeah.
Feels longer, but maybe that's the right amount of time. But this is going to speed it up enough to where it should be good.
Right. And now I'm going to skip right over oh, restoration is now
Hmm.
permanent.
Nice.
So for those who don't know, it's just pretty much just a blood fury that's like 10% of the damage you deal, you restore. Just permanent. It's
Very
like
cool.
really nice that that's permanent. It's gonna make PKing really crazy. All these
It's
sigils, by
crazy
the
that
way.
you can have all these on at once. I feel like this is gonna. I mean, we are gonna be pretty powerful. It's gonna change the
I told
whole
you,
PvP meta.
you're
It's
gonna
gonna
be
change
insanely
PVM.
powerful. Insanely powerful. It's gonna change PVM everything. You're gonna. There's a completely new game mode coming out. Pretty much.
Yep.
We have to see how it feels.
Hmm.
So, treasure hunter. This is what I wanted to talk about with in regards to clue scroll points. So that what they added on here, I believe. I've never used this before. Um, you have a 75% chance upon completing a step that you get a casket.
Wow. Okay.
It makes
Do
clues
you keep the
points.
clue scroll as you do that, or is it like
I think so.
okay?
So I believe you keep the clue, and it just makes clues actually a viable thing to do in DMM, which is kind of cool. Because before it was just like, why would I ever do these? It's like there's no points tied behind them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much it. It's going to be a nice thing to do for points, actually, if you can just complete a couple steps, get like a couple caskets, get a couple collection logs, and you just racked up 1,000 points really fast.
Yeah, I'm reading it
And
as it's going to complete the clue scroll, but it looks like you're going to be able to also stack a ton anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah. Food Master got nerfed, Potion Master got nerfed, and Well Fed got nerfed because they're permanent, so they
Right.
nerfed them. They went from like 50% chance to save food, save potions, and get double HP to 5%, which is honestly, since it's permanent, it's kind of just a nice little 5% chance to heal twice as much, restore twice as much prayer pots, or not consume prayer pots and not consume food.
Yeah, those
Just a
were all
little,
like bait sigils for the finals too at the end. So I'm
yeah.
glad we don't have to like think about that or think maybe we need these. So that's cool.
And now we have some of the repeated older sigils, like meticulousness,
Mm-hmm.
75% actually in all styles, just just
Also
permanent.
permanent too. I can't believe they're not limiting to how many you can have attuned
Well,
with
they
these with
are
these. I
limiting,
know, but with these permanent
but
ones.
augmented thrall, permanent.
My
Titanium,
God.
permanent. Conclusion. This is new. This is huge, by the way. When killing an NPC, receive 10% special attack energy back. The
Holy.
NPC must be within 15 tiles, and you cannot have been in PvP combat in the last 24 seconds.
Oh my
That
God.
is crazy, by the way. Just
Holy.
constantly
Yeah,
specking.
spec
Imagine that with a
spam.
Thunder
I
Kopesh.
know. Is that in the thing, the Thunder Kopesh?
Yep.
Oh my
And the
God, bro.
Dog Sword also.
Oh my God.
So these are all really cool. Conclusions really cool. Augmented Thrall being permanent is insane, just increasing your thrall damage by 5.
Yep.
Plus, you can get like a trinket of thralls, so you could just have always your thralls be good. I see most of this as like it was really annoying, in my opinion, having to choose between like thrall or accuracy or damage.
I
Now,
agree.
all the things that aren't damage to players are just permanent, pretty much.
Yeah.
So PVM stuff is just permanent,
So all this
and
stuff
that's just what it is.
just works on PVM.
All well, like when you're talking about like sigil of eternal belief, where your prayer doesn't drain naturally, it's like that'll still work in PvP, but if you're getting smited.
Mm-hmm.
So all this stuff works in PvP, like well fed works in PvP, but obviously all the stuff that's like PvP stuff kind of got nerfed, um, because they're permanent now.
Right.
So we're gonna move to the attuned section because these are also really cool and they're a lot cheaper, a lot of them, than the permanent ones.
Yeah, super
So
reasonable. I'm looking at them.
yeah, so all of the really cool old sigils, like for those who know, they know about how OP consistency is if you're farming at the right place.
Yeah.
But all of these sigils are now like attuned sigils. So they are all like damage based sigils, like consistency, light
Mm-hmm.
bearer, and then the classic meticulous mage, rigorous ranger, and formidable fighter. You are going to be able to choose uh one of those three in the beginning now.
Okay, that's
Just
cool.
like
So
off
still
off
like
rip.
before.
Like right, like you used to be able to. And it looks like here that formidable fighter is more points than the other two. So they said you were going to be able to choose it, or maybe you're just going to be able to choose between Rigorous Ranger and Meticulous Mage, and they're trying to destroy all of the starting metas.
Are you sure
Which I
you're not confusing like the rigorous and ruthless and meticulous and like remember there was another set of the three combat
oh maybe I
sigils?
am.
I think
I
you might
am.
be.
I
Yeah.
am. It's Formidable Fighter, um, Menacing Mage, and Ruthless Ranger is what you get to choose from in the beginning. So you
Those are the
get to
ones you
choose
just
one
read.
of
I think
those
it's
three.
the other ones.
No. Those are not the ones I just read. I just read Meticulous Mage,
Okay,
Rigorous
okay. Yeah,
Ranger.
yeah.
It's Formidable Fighter, Menacing
It's
Mage,
they made
Ruthless
them all
Ranger.
so similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who remembers like
Yeah.
remembers playing DMM, you know you get to choice of one of these three sigils like off rip, and they're just going to do the same thing. Like you just get I think they're going to give you 500 points to choose one of the three. That's what they
Cool.
said at least. So here's an interesting one too. Here's a new by the way, me saying all this. These are all attunable sigils, which means that you can only have 3 of them on at a time. So you're gonna have these are the choices you're gonna have to make.
And
And they
these are
don't
kind of what are
cost
going to
points to
affect PvP the most because they're all offensive
yes.
and they all work in PvP from what I can tell.
Yeah, they all work in PvP. Sigil of the Gods, this is new. This is for all you pures out there. The 3 God spells gain 10% damage and additional effect. Flames of Zamorak has a 10% burn effect. Claws
Whoa.
of Guthix will lower the target's defense level equal to 50% of damage dealt. Saradomin
Interesting.
Strike drains the enemy's prayer points by 30% of damage done.
So it's just like mega increased versions of the spells. And if you're wondering like why that matters, the pure bracket in Deadman mode is like thriving and lively throughout the whole thing. There really are builds in each of the brackets, and that'll be really cool to see. I think even some of those might be useful in the higher brackets. Like, I mean, obviously, if in the pure bracket people are not going to be having defense that needs to be lowered, so Claws of Guthix might be more useful later on,
Or against monsters.
or against monsters too. Good point.
Honestly, you're going to have so much accuracy, it probably won't matter. But
Yeah,
there's something I wanted to go back on here because I thought it was an attuned sigil and it's not. Sigil of Revoked Limitation is a
that's what I was
permanent
just
unlock.
thinking. Yeah, I was just thinking of that.
It is a permanent unlock. So that means that Rev weapons are going to be usable everywhere without any consequences.
Yeah, I think there was
Um,
a lot of builds last time that people just used that sigil because those rev weapons are so good.
a crossbow might be best in slot literally everywhere with
It's gonna be
like any
close.
PVM. Yeah, so that's all these other ones are kind of the old what we all know, which is like arcane swiftness, gunslinger, swashbuckler. You can still only have one of those attuned at a time. So what they do is they reduce the ticks that it takes to do an attack by 1 of anything that is 4 tick or higher. You can only have one of those at a time. So either a range one, mage one, or melee one. Those are exactly the same as they were. One of those, you're gonna have one of those on all the time. It's so much damage. It's so OP
Hmm.
to make like a 4 tick Tebow. Honestly, that will make. I will say, revoked limitation being not attuned will make like those way worse because you could just pop on the rev weapons and beat the shit beat the shit out of stuff.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter. Um, and then you have all the classics returning, like Rampage, Aggression. These are all just like increase your damage. And it's going to be nice to be able to actually use these in PVM because before you felt like you needed to, like, because supply cost was so high, you felt like you needed to take Restoration or you
Right.
needed to take like Revoked Limitations, another good example. Like, I have to take this. Now you're going to be able to have your cake and eat it too, honestly, with this Deadman.
Yeah. Seems that way.
It's really cool in my opinion. And then there's just some toggleable scaling things here, like
Right. Are
Bracelet
just
Slaughter. Right.
those are
Slaughter's
basically just because
toggleable
you would potentially not want to have them on at certain points,
all
so
the
you can
time.
toggle them on and off. Which
Yeah,
yeah.
like Remote Storage, Enhanced Harvest, Woodcraft, Devotion,
Hmm.
which is really cool. Honestly,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to just grind and farm. Like, this is going to be a grind fest of just farming mobs, honestly, the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. I think it I'm gonna stay positive and I'm sure it's gonna be good. I'm sure they've thought about the balancing. Seems like everyone's gonna be way more OP, but on the inverse side of that, like even though people are more OP in PvP, you're also gonna be a lot more tanky and able to counter it too. So I think I'm sure they've thought about the implications of all these sigils to at least a certain extent.
I think
Um,
that the incentive behind a lot of these sigils was to the incentive behind a lot of the sigils was to make it so that you didn't have to sacrifice, like, you can fight now. Like,
yeah.
with a lot of these things, you can bring a full PK setup anytime you're doing anything, and if someone gets on you, you can fight back.
And even in a
That
PvP or a PVM setup, like you might be able to like have a decent
yeah,
chance, like with just maybe you have bolts, but you're also like you have a melee switch, and
Right.
Yeah.
The reality is when you have these permanent setups, right? These permanent sigils, you and I both know from playing DMM that you are not going to need any supplies anywhere, just from something like restoration plus like enhanced devotion, where like you're not going to need supplies anywhere.
Yeah.
So what you can do is you can take a full PK setup everywhere you go.
Mhm.
And anytime someone tries to get on you, it incentivizes you to be like, "Hey, I'm going to fight back."
Right.
I think that's fine.
I also
Um,
think it's probably beneficial for like because we PvP as well, and I think it'll be beneficial for players like us because there's so much going on, and there's like you don't have to choose quite as much. So I think we'll be able to like have a better shot against more seasoned PKers, and also have a better shot against like random people that we wouldn't be able to kill normally because we're not that good at the game. It
right.
just it feels more
Exactly.
like yeah, maybe there's more. I don't know. Maybe it's more leveled out than before, I guess, in a weird way too.
I agree. So there is the next thing on these unlocks is just like quest lamp unlocks. Pretty much all the quest lamps you can get before, like when you would level from bracket to bracket,
Mm-hmm.
like Recipe for Disaster, Elf storyline, without Priff, no Priff from that. You still have to do the Priff quest. Gnome storyline, same thing, including MM2.
Wait,
What
you have
is
to do Song of the Elves?
Yeah, you had to every DMM.
Really?
My Rec storyline, you have to do dubious dispositions of daddy. You have to do that quest. Sins of the father.
Dubious dispositions of daddy is crazy. I think I called it wrongdoings of daddy last time, and you've just taken that to a level that I really, really hate. Misdeeds of I don't know. Oh god. I hate that. And I'm gonna be thinking about that for way longer than I'd like to admit.
What is notable here is I think that there's no Varlamar quest unlocks here.
No, I'm seeing that,
So
yeah.
so you are going to have to do all the Varlamar storylines if you want access to something like Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Um or something like any of the Naguas that are like really good, right?
Right. It's
Main
interesting
game
how they chose. Like, I wonder what their thinking was with not picking some
I
of these
think they
quest
want
lines.
people in Varlamore. That's what I
Yeah,
think.
but wouldn't having this stuff unlock put people in Varlamore more?
It gives the people who the reality is PvPers are going to have to engage with this system to be able to progress. They can't just
Right.
buy their sigils anymore. Like it's not possible. So they're going to be trying to engage with this system. And one of the best things someone who's trying to hide from can do is go to Varlamore and complete a storyline that they're just not going to complete and not be able to get to you at.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
That's what I think that they're like somewhat their mind is at. I'm gonna skip over the main game reward costs. I'll touch on it quickly. The wilderness theme POH is 15,000 points. The Deadman Annihilation home teleport, and I believe there's another thing here. Oh yeah, Deadman Annihilation recolors the Toxic Staff, Bofa, and Crystal
Oh
Armor at
man,
12,000 points for a scroll. That Bofa armor is sick. I think it's insanely cool looking.
it's really
It's like
cool. I
red and
can't wait
black.
to get it. And
Yeah,
I just got a toxic staff of the dead on my iron too. So I'm
it's
excited for that as
amazing.
well.
They buffed a bunch of Runa's powers. We kind of already talked about it. It's kind of increased the accuracy and some damage.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Vaporize now has 30% plus 30 attack. Annihilate provides plus 30 attack. Decimate provides plus 30 attack. Like they Rebuke now increase recoil damage by 10% down from 50. That's crazy.
My
What the hell? It
God.
was 50%. No wonder these never came out. But yeah, they just buffed Ruinous powers. You're not even going to notice it. The sigils are going to be so OP that you're not going to notice that those are buffed. You're just going to be like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
doing a
yeah.
shit ton of damage.
Interesting.
Let
Here's
me
the big
see.
one.
Yeah, this is big. Deadman chest mechanics. So let me just quickly read this off. When an NPC with at least 30 health dies, there's a rare chance it will spawn a Deadman chest. I believe that this also scales with combat level. So the higher the combat level of the mob, the better chance you have of spawning a chest.
Hmm.
In a single way combat area, it takes 60 seconds to open, and in a multi way, it takes 30 seconds. And these are interruptible. So it's a straight 60 seconds. You have to, they're completely interruptible. You cannot just AFK and have monsters hitting you. You need to do it all at once. Where there are NPCs such as Grardor is an example they give that are aggressive all the time, the chest will spawn outside the instance. So
Okay,
you
that's good
can
to know.
so at boss rooms you could still do it. The first person to open it gets a guaranteed drop of either a trinket of advanced weaponry, trinket of undead, 100 Morgan's Throne Axes, 100 Morgan's Jabs, or a piece of the Ancient Warrior armor, which has been added to Deadman mode.
Whoa.
And then there's a rare
Oh,
chance.
wow, they put the armor in. That's so fun.
Yes, the armor's also dropped from the breach monsters as well. So they added in also League's favorites, Thunder, Kopash, and Dogsword to these rewards. They nerfed them a little bit. Like the special attack cost of a Thunder Kopash is 60%. The Dogsword is 60%, so you can't just like double spam somebody with them. And yeah, I mean they nerfed them a tiny bit, but they're still gonna be crazy,
Yeah.
crazy OP. Oh wait, did I not talk about? Oh, okay. Also, when you find this chest or when it spawns, Zamorgal and his minions will spawn, and you need to kill them before looting the chest.
Dude,
Crazy. You must be
absolutely
risking at
insane.
least 100K to open the chest. Also, I mean,
Yeah, that sounds wild. Sounds like it's going to be incredibly frustrating, but also incredibly exciting to like stumble onto someone that's like opening one and fight them off. And like, there's going to be, PVMers fighting each other off for a chance at like stealing someone
right.
else's loot.
And you
It
know what the
also
best part?
makes like, if you're doing PVM along near some other PVMers, like you can't trust anyone. You can't trust
And you know
anyone.
what also is nice about it too? There is a full incentive now to actually, because your resource cost is probably 0 when you're doing any sort of Slayer or anything, there is, because you're just going to pray overheads, right? And just be
Mm,
fully protected. There's a full incentive to actually bring a full PK setup if you're farming alongside somebody else and be like, fuck it. They removed bank keys. So you can just literally slam these people. Like
yeah.
it might as well make your shot. The worst that happens is you die or you freeze telly.
Hmm.
Like it's one of those things where it's
Yeah,
just
true. Yeah.
because you have the freedom of all the nice little stuff that you want that you would take normally and had to give up other stuff for, you could just send it. You could just be like,
Yeah.
I have full PK set up all the time.
Dude, I'm going to say
Um,
this. Looking at all the crazy shit you can have at the same time in terms of sigils, looking at the the Kopesh and the new weapons and also having the PvP armor in there. There's no way in hell that like the potential to just be one shot, I'm telling you, is through the roof.
well, that is another thing we were touching on here. This is we're gonna move on to the other gameplay changes because I think this is stuff that you will. This is like kind of that little stuff that you're talking about.
Okay.
So first thing is that Rev caves are being split in Deadman mode. The top entrance is fully multi, and the bottom entrance is singles plus.
Whoa, that's like back in the day, kind of.
I think that they're testing to try to maybe do this in the main game.
I hope so. I miss multi-rev cave so
I
much.
also miss multi-rev
There's no
caves.
place for multi-clans to go PK anymore.
Yep, I agree.
Or little groups
This
even.
is a great change. Honestly, I wish they did it to the main game. It's really cool. We don't really usually go revs, but it's still fun.
No, but I'm thinking that with the limit remover sigil, what's it called? I'm thinking I'm gonna
Revoked
go.
limitation. Those things are
Yeah,
gonna go for so much, by the way.
I think
Those,
I'm gonna go revs probably.
yeah, and they're gonna be worth so much money. Those things. So this next part is actually one of the biggest parts of this DMM, and I think that it's a massive change. All that meta that you did before, this is totally stripped. These are the new quests that are automatically unlocked upon starting. These include, I'm going to tell the ones that are like really important. So first of all, you're going to have a fairy. You're going to have fairy rings unlocked automatically. You are going to not be able to do the Grand Tree, Tree Gnome Village, Waterfall quest, Holy Grail, Monkey Madness 1, Vampire Slayer, Witch's House, even X marks the
Oh
spot
my
is
god.
taking an L. Like all of these quests
It's
have
all
just
the
been
early XP
it's
quests.
it's
Seriously.
all the skipping quests. The only one that survived was Fight Arena. So that's the only
Yeah,
quest that
it's
survived
not on
this
the list.
purge. This is going to make it so that you have to exist in bracket 1 past your immunity for sure. There's
Yes,
no
you're right.
way to even there's no way you're going to be able to progress through. You're going to have to exist like old Deadmans. You're going to have to exist at a low level for a little bit because the meta used to be do all these quests within the hour. If you multi-quest it, then the next thing you go do Monkey Madness 1, and then the next thing you go straight to the next bracket and you're already in bracket 3, and it's just like bang.
I'm gonna say it, dude. Multi-questing can eat a bag of dicks, and this is the best
You
thing
hate
for
it.
me ever. I am so happy that I don't have to do
I'm happy
these
too.
quests in this horrible, like, ADHD bouncing back and forth, solving one part of the quest while also solving another part of a different quest at the same time. I'm so happy I don't have to do that anymore. I will gladly do Fight Arena, and I will sit there and fire strike along with everyone else on the little guy on the
Yep.
south of Ardoon. I'm gonna be so happy to do that.
I think that this is an amazing change. These are things that are going to be super duper 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 nice to have a new meta in Deadman mode because the meta was just Super Quest and um, skip brackets. You can't
Yeah,
do it anymore,
it was
and it's
stale. It
not going
was
to be
stale.
possible.
It was only
It was stale.
interesting when you got to like that last bracket, pretty much.
Yeah. Also, they made it so there's only 4 brackets now. There's not 5 anymore. So you're gonna actually have to exist in each bracket for longer as well. Like it's
Wow.
not like 50 combat, it's 60 combat now, which is a good amount of levels to train. Like it's not quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all
But
for that. That sounds
that's
good.
that's the biggest change I think, and it's one that went under the radar, but it's a massive change to
Mhm.
this stuff. So, um, in PvP, all instances of damage are capped at 85, with the exception of Darok. So while you could definitely get one shot, there's so many sigils here that are going to make it so that you're healing a shit ton in a triple elite, like all at once.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that 85 dark bow from someone
Yeah,
in full what's it called? Morgans and yeah.
yeah, that's gonna hit the yeah. I mean, there's gonna be some serious PKing potential in this. Um,
Yeah.
they that's a cool little change. Oh, this is kind of big. Spell icons resizing will be completely enabled, as
Okay.
well as I don't remember where I saw this, but I did see it. It's gonna save your spells too to your staff.
Okay, that's cool.
So you're not going to need to switch in spellbook.
Nice. That's really
You're not gonna
nice.
have to go to your spellbook. You're just gonna be able
This
to
is
switch to
kind of
mage,
like
use it, switch to range.
I feel like a lot of these were kind of things that we were describing in like as potential in like a new PvP system that we were talking about in like sailing in the future, where
Yep.
things are a little bit dumbed down so it's a little bit more accessible for everyone and the skill level is maybe not such a high bar.
Right. Like I think that like no matter what happens, just because you can't go to your spell book to just because you don't have to go to your spell book to go do your thing, like you're still gonna get clapped by someone like Oda Block. Like
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not gonna change anything, but it's going to give an introduction to people who were afraid of PvP to give it a shot, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. Once again, and then the next thing is you can choose your starting location from Varrock, Lumbridge, East Ardy, Gnome Stronghold, or Kourend.
Cool.
Classically, it was always Gnome Stronghold to do Grand Tree, but
Yeah.
it's not that anymore at all. It'll probably be Ardy straight into Fight Arena, in my opinion.
I'm
You
excited to come up
get
with a new document together.
yeah, can't wait for you to contribute to that document.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm. Proofreading for grammatical errors, you mean?
yeah, for grammatical errors. You get 30 untradeable tuna in your bank upon logging in, and
Looting
12
bag,
untradeable
that's
tuna in your
interesting.
inventory, a chronicle with 10 teleports, a looting bag, an early game cape with some combat bonuses,
Interesting.
some starter weapons, body armor, and leg armor, and a Drayman staff.
Okay.
Um, Wait, it says the global league table has been adjusted and can now drop God Dehyde
This
Bison
is
Chaps,
exciting
various
to me.
potions, ancient staffs, uncut gems, cannonballs, Dragon Bolts E, Blighted Ice Axe, mystics, various runes, cooked food, herblore seconds, reduced alcohols compared to before. With NPCs for a combat level of 50 or more,
50
there's
or
a rare
more, down from
subtable.
100. That's
Well,
interesting.
no. This is just for this rare subtable.
Okay.
For the Master's Wand, Mage's Book, and piece of warrior armor. That actually is crazy.
I will say in the past that has been so rare that the tons of
I've
NPCs I
never
killed
seen it.
throughout the tournament, I've seen it in one tournament. I got it from like an Iron Dragon. I got a piece of it was like a mage's book or something.
I've never seen it, and I've killed
Yeah,
so many
it's so
monsters over
rare,
level
so
100.
rare. Hopefully they'll make that a little bit, maybe a little more common. And I will say, I also noticed that they don't mention skilling, so it looks like it's just going to be from killing NPCs, not from skilling.
They don't mention skilling, but it just added it to the global loot table, which came from skilling too.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be in there.
Hopefully, I hope so. I think skilling could use stuff like that. Like it's fine to have that in
I
skilling.
agree, especially if you're doing it
Uh,
in obviously in a dangerous zone.
let me see here. So shops all refresh at a rapid rate, so you're not going to need to hop.
Cool.
Maniacal monkeys are nerfed, as they always are with
Yep.
supply drops. Looting bags now drop from everything in the entire game and are usable across the whole game, so you don't need to worry about that like looting bag note
Yeah,
thing that always
nice.
happens. Here it is. Supply drops from skilling actions now occur at a rate of 1 in 1,000 as opposed to 1 in 100, so that
Oh,
got nerfed.
okay, but it's
It's
still in
still
there.
there, but it's doubled,
But
like the amount.
but remember we mentioned earlier that skilling actions are twice
Yep.
as fast. So
Yeah, it's kind of just like but
yeah,
they are there.
same.
So that's good. There's just the risk things here. There's a skull over everybody's head because bank keys were removed, and your whatever your GP value is indicates a skull,
I
pretty
don't
much.
know how they're gonna. It's gonna be hard to tie it to like a GP value because what is it gonna be tied to the GE in the main game, or is it just gonna take forever to update?
Yeah, it's forever to update.
Yeah,
It's gonna
which
be
is gonna be 2 weeks, and then the tournament's gonna be over. So I'm a little worried about those, but we'll bridge that gap when we get there.
so. This is interesting. Starter packs no longer provide a free sigil. Instead, you'll be granted some points to log in to purchase a sigil from the skull shop. So just a
Once per
free
day. Okay.
points once per day instead of giving you a sigil. Once again, I already talked about this. You'll be able to choose between typical combat style sigils for free when logging in for the first time. They no longer starter packs no longer provide any GP.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I was wrong. Your magic autocast will be saved if you have not been attacked by a player, so you still have to use the spell book,
Oh, okay.
but it's resizable, and you can make big. Barrage can be your entire
Yeah.
spell book. It'll be fine. Um, there was something that was on here. Um,
Timer increased. That's
increased.
nice.
That's big. That means that in any singles area, you can no longer get piled by 2 people. That's pretty much what that means.
I mean, it's a 4 tick difference. It's not gonna make that much of a.
It's enough,
It's
though.
enough. It helps, but yeah, it's not
It's not that
insane.
big. I mean, it's theoretically a 20% increase, right?
We do end up using that, us in particular, when we PK. I
Yeah.
know that, like, to kind of tag in and out because we stink.
Let me see. There was something here that players who have PvP protection active or PvP protection active or very low risk wealth will not be able to enter raid areas.
Oh my god.
That is crazy. The
Yeah, I don't
Arceus
think that's gonna
library
change
is
much. I'm sure they'll
closed.
just have raggers that have a little bit of risk, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I agree. God books now are fully completed upon completing Horror of the Deep. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
That's just
Probably
like a
more
nice
pure
offhand
bracket.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah, for like pure bracket. Arceus library is closed. That stuff was
Those,
really
damn,
OP.
they're really just getting rid of all the books now, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be dumb. Oh
Yeah.
no. Um,
Finally, we get to bring the dumbness
yeah.
to the Deadman mode as
Emblem Trader's
well.
shop is receiving some changes, but it doesn't seem like it says.
Item purchased with the
Oh
trader
yeah,
are
it does. Okay.
noted. Halos are no longer alchemizable. Default respawn
That was a
is
good
set
one
to the
for
grand
us.
exchange. Yeah, I know that's a big difference. Experience is now granted even when you're inside an instance, only at 3 times the rate and Nightmare Zone is inaccessible.
Interesting.
And also, you'll begin full Slayer XP in
Whoa,
there.
okay.
That's interesting. That means that Tarn's Lair is like a good thing to do,
Yeah,
by the way.
okay. Yeah, good quest.
That mini quest.
Yeah. And
Wilderness Slayer
and that
got
also
tier
means you
5 got
you won't
nerfed.
really have to do that weird teleport out tech to get the strength XP from.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Wilderness Slayer got nerfed. The tier 5s from it got nerfed.
Kind of don't hate that. If I have to do another Black Demon task in the Edgefield dungeon competing with people
I
for
know.
one Black Demon, I'm gonna lose my
It's
mind.
ridiculous. Lago delay is gone from the inside of safe zone. They were for a pure bracket. They removed the hit points requirement for any hit points jewelry. Um, they made overloads less punishing. It's only 10 damage and 10% defense instead of 25% damage and or 25 damage and 80 percent defense.
Ooh,
The Elder Chaos Druid can actually now unnote your bones.
that's nice. Instead of
There was something
we used to do
else
the
that
looting
was
bag
on here that
drop
I can't
technique.
find.
I think the Wintertot and Temperos being safe zones, that's interesting. I never did Wintertot because you'd always get checked and you have to have like stuff in your inventory. So that's good. This one's
Um,
interesting to me. The Whizguard that will freeze you for a short amount of time if you run into a guarded area while skulled. That makes it sound like you're going to be a little bit like you're not going to avoid that like the plague. Like if someone gets into the city, you might chase them a little bit because there's a good chance you could probably tank it and get unfrozen and get back out.
yeah, that is cool. That is cool. You might be able to do that. Um, Wilderness Agility course no longer resets when you leave. That's
Oh,
gonna be
that's
crazy.
cool. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
Oh, Trinket of Vengeance has been removed.
Really?
Yep. Zulra's damage. I think it's just gonna be two. Zulra's damage cap also has been removed.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Burn damage is reduced. There was something else on here that I can't find that I really thought was cool. Let me see here. Is there like somewhere where the added trinkets are? I wanted to talk about this. They added a new trinket, and I can't find where it is.
You have any recollection of what
I know exactly what it does, but I don't remember what it's called. So pretty much, they added a new trinket to the game that replaced Trinket of Vengeance. I don't remember the name of it, and I can't find it in the
it's
blog.
not in the blog doesn't have the only trinkets that are mentioned are advanced weaponry, undead, and taking out vengeance. So it might be
Would
a
you
different
control F
thing.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, there's something that they added that you can have on your person that what it does is it increases your it's worth a lot of money and it increases it's a new like it's a new drop of something what it does is it increases your drop rate by 1x from mobs.
Really?
So it's like a rare drop from stuff and I can't find where it is.
Yeah. I can't find anything.
What do you think about that?
Uh I guess I like it. Wait, so it increases so it doubles it? Is that it?
No, no, no. Like, let's say your drop rate on rares is 5x, it turns it to 6x.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's like super reasonable because it's not an insane increase, but it sounds like it'll be like a good thing to risk if you have the money. Yeah, that's cool. Still, I like things that make you choose a little bit, right? Like, because a lot of
Yeah,
the choice is being taken away to where, you know, it's nice to have some things that you have to risk and choose still.
right. And getting that thing as a drop, everyone's going to want that on them when they're
Right.
doing
Also, a
anything.
lot of like potential value for PVMers to have for
Right.
PKers to PK.
It looks like they did a lot of trade offs when it comes to stuff like that. Like where they're like, we removed some of this stuff, like the sigils, but now you're going to be able to get ancient warrior armor. You're going to be able to get all this other stuff or all this other jazz from monsters. So seems like they supplemented a lot of those trinket removal drop or not trinket sigil drop removal with like other cool items.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I can't
So
find that anywhere. I don't think it's in this blog, so I don't know.
there was something I read it
Have rate.
somewhere.
I've searched rate. I've searched through drops. I've searched through everything. I can't find it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
maybe I'm dreaming.
super
No,
cool. Yeah, maybe coming
but
up with
anyway,
doing work for Jagex in your sleep.
this is gonna be, in my opinion, the best Deadman mode ever, and there's a lot of overwhelming amount of stuff that's here, but I think this is so approachable for new players. And if you are a new player and you see this blog and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah,
Just play, and you will be able to figure it out as you go along.
it's going to be a little less punishing. It's going to be, I think, a little bit more like leagues, and I think it's going to be fun for everyone. Yeah, and regardless of if you're a skiller, if you're a PVMer, a PKer, you like to do any of it, I think it's going to be amazing. I'm also a little bit nervous about how it's going to play out and how things are actually going to work and people being overpowered or whatever, but I'm excited for it, and I think everyone's going to be on an equal footing because no one really knows what to expect with this amount of changes that we just covered.
Oh my god, Max,
What?
there's a magpie in playing.
Oh my god.
No, but this is I'm so excited for this Deadman mode. I can't wait. I'm gonna be playing it just literally from the moment I'm probably not from the moment it launched. I'll probably be at work, but I
Yeah, we'll be a little
will.
late, but that's okay because we're not going to need to like multi-quest and speed through these brackets. I think there's going to be a lot of diversity to plans, and we're going to have our own unique plan, and it's not going to be as like, you know, beholden to getting locked in a having PID to get through a door that everyone is trying to get through, or worry about like doing quests late because now you're not going to be in the pack with everyone else, and the chances are you're going to get picked off. So I'm not as worried about starting late. It seems like it's going to be really good for, I think, just like the general health of the players. Like you're not going to have to do every single breach, wake up in the middle of the night. You're not going to have to,
Yeah,
yeah, rush things or blow off work or,
it's
it's
way
gonna it's
better.
gonna be good. I'm excited
It's
about it.
way better without having to do all that stuff.
Yeah, I think
You need to make it
that's a big
like
plus.
if they you get anything from this Deadman mode changes is that this is going to be more like a league with PvP active all the time
Yes,
and with different powers that you get all of in the whole game to explore.
definitely. And if you're worried about, maybe going it alone, I know that myself and Zekzer are planning on doing some streaming and, making videos, and we're going to be around. So make sure you check out our channels, you join our streams. You can add me if you want. I keep my private on like a maniac. It's MDGScape space YT. And we're going to try to, be a little bit of a communal tribe here. So if you're
Yes, if
worried
you
about
want to
going it
die
solo,
alongside us,
yeah, yeah.
you have every ability. We will just do that. I mean, it's going to be really fun. I love Deadman mode, and I think that Deadman mode was in contention for one of my favorite game modes, and this is just going to make it so that it definitely is really up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Get on, get some money. You can swap. You can get these rewards that were worth so much money last year. Just do it. You will be happy you did if you've never tried it. So I think that's where we're probably gonna leave it off today. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe for more, and again, yeah, check out our individual channels. We're gonna be doing some streaming and more Deadman content. Zekzer just posted his first episode of his Chunkman account. That's really cool. And if you that Magpie Impling call out was because he's in this chunk and gathering implings, and I'm just like getting dopamine from watching to see what he pulls out of these implings. So that's gonna be in the next episode too, I'm sure. So make
Yeah,
sure
and
you
my
get caught up with that.
next episode might come out in a while because I have some serious grinds that I want to do before I release it. So
Yeah, it'll probably be out around when my bingo video goes out too. So make sure to
yeah,
look out for both of those.
perfect, man. This is fun talking about this stuff, going over it. I love this stuff.
Yeah, I'm feeling more prepared, and I'm glad I understand most of the changes. So we will catch you guys next week. Whoa, that'll be like during Deadman mode, right?
Yeah, 6 days from now,
Yep. So we'll be,
Friday
I'm
the 30th.
sure, yeah, talking about it, and we will see you guys then. Thanks for listening.
All right, peace, boys.
Later.